Hello again, everybody. My name is Jeff Sabo, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Cape. Well, it's the middle of February, so I'm going to be reviewing the Black Panther movie, the latest release within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Just a few things before you go and see this movie. Number one, if you haven't seen Captain America Civil War, go and see that. If you can't really remember a lot of the details from that movie, review that movie as well. Just kind of keep in mind that throughout Black Panther, they do make several references to that film. And if you haven't seen that one, you might be a little lost at certain points, or kind of scratching your head going, okay, who's this character? What are they referring to? Keep in mind that Captain America Civil War was the first appearance of the Black Panther within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So make sure you review that movie. Second, make sure you are in your seat as soon as the movie begins. Unlike a lot of the other Marvel Comics movies, where you usually see the opening credits scroll up ahead of time, this one, they go right into it. In other words, pretty much right after the previews, without warning, they really start to go right into it like that, and really make it so that you do have to pay attention early on. Several key parts of the story are kind of introduced right at that segment. I'm not going to give too much of it away, but make sure that you are in your seats not only for the previews, but also at the very beginning of the movie. Because if you miss that, you are going to miss a lot of the key plot points throughout the film. And it was really kind of a surprise. I was there when I was just sitting there watching it. It was like the last preview was done, and there were no opening credits. The Marvel logo didn't come up right away. It just went right into the movie. So keep that in mind and really do pay attention at that part, because it really does introduce a lot of the key plot points throughout the rest of the film. And then overall, definitely a good one worth seeing. Be patient with this one as you go through it. It's one of those films where you kind of sit there going, okay, where's this going to be going? Where's this plot going? Is this really moving anywhere? Be patient, because it really does tie in together towards the end. This one also does have a little bit different feel to some of the other Marvel movies in terms of the plot. This one is the plot's mainly based around what's going on in Wakanda, which is where the Black Panther's kingdom is, and a lot of it does have to do with some political and also socio-economic parts of the plot as well. So you pay attention and be patient with it. They do spend like a good portion of the beginning of the film, really setting it up for like the key plot points towards the end and also the climax. So make sure you're paying attention. Make sure that you're patient with it, because it might be one of those movies for some where you're sitting there going, okay, get on with it already. Where exactly is this going? It is well worth it. It definitely has some nice messages throughout. It definitely has a nice feel to it as well. And then how it's kind of unlike some of the other Marvel Comics movies is that it's not like it takes mainly place in Wakanda, and it's just more based off of what's going on within that kingdom and parts of the world. Whereas some of the other Marvel movies, it's just the focus is either around one villain or what's going on around the world. This one, I'm probably thinking it's probably more of a setup for Avengers Infinity, which, keep in mind, that film does come out in May. And with a lot of the plot points, you could definitely see where it could possibly fit into Avengers Infinity. But overall, great movie. Michael B. Jordan does an incredible job playing the villain in this one. And then obviously Chadwick Boseman does a great job playing T'Challa and the Black Panther. He does an incredible job, portraying that character. It's a great supporting cast. You're probably going to see some familiar faces if you've seen not only some of the Star Wars films, but also some of the other Marvel Comics movies as well. So this one's definitely worth seeing. It is definitely worth the price of admission, and I think overall, like I said before, be patient with it. It does kind of have some nice messages towards the end, and it really does portray the characters pretty well, in my opinion. So, Black Panther, go and see it. It is definitely well worth it. In transitioning a little bit to my next part of the segment, It is actually, keep in mind, Comic-Con is scheduled to be in Cleveland, the Wizard Comic-Con, early March. I believe it's like March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. And taking a look at the guest list, it looks like it is going to be pretty incredible. You do have Thomas Ian Nicholas, Rookie of the Year. He was also in a bunch of the American Pie movies. You do have Michael Rosenbaum, obviously Lex Luthor from, Smallville. I know he's supposed to be there as well. And I think they are supposed to have Jason Momoa from the, I think, Game of Thrones and also Justice League in the DC Extended Universe there as well. From what I understand, it really is. Keep it. From what I understand, make sure to bring some make sure to bring some cash with you. Is that a lot of the people signing autographs do charge? So do keep that in mind. And I know in the past they've had some panels. They had some panels that I'm not really sure if they were private, but for the most part, it did seem like that there were that there was a lot to do there, and that it was worth the price of admission. So Wizard Comic-Con, March 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. I'm going to try and make it out there, just to kind of see if there is a way that I could sneak in there even for just a little bit. So that's going to wrap it up for this edition of Behind the Cape. I'm Jeff Sabo, and we'll see you at the movies.